Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, welcome. My name is Aries and I am your online BFF of today. And if you're not new, if you're my return subscribers, thank you so much for clicking my videos today. And yeah, bless your day, besties. So today's is a bit different because today is just some prophecy or a future prophecy. Okay, so the topic of today is what will the world look like in 2050, and it is just my first assumption, maybe. Why not? Because we are free, we have the free will to think, so yeah, so I just want to share my thoughts about this thing. Right, so I want you to close your eyes for a moment first. Imagine waking up in the year of 2050. Your phone is gone, but you're still connected, Your home responds to your thoughts. Traffic moves without drivers. Doctors don't just treat illness, they predict it before it happened. And the AI, artificial intelligence isn't a tool anymore. It is everywhere, everywhere, helping, learning, adapting. And now I want you to open your eyes now. Go back to reality. The question is no longer will the future change. Sometimes the real question is how different will the world actually be in 2050, right? So let's explore it. So if you feel like the world is changing fast right now, you are right, but what's coming is even faster, because the gap between 2020 and 2050 will likely feel more extreme than the gap between 1950 and 2000. Why? Because technology doesn't grow linearly, right? It grows exponentially. All right, so that means every breakthrough becomes the foundations for the next one. And AI, improves AI. Do you get that? Artificial intelligence improve another artificial intelligence, right? In whatsoever industry, because robotics improves robotics. Medicine improves medicines. Okay, and suddenly progress stops feeling like a gradual effect. It starts feeling explosive for some reason, right? So by 2050, we won't just be upgrading the world, we will basically redesigning it. Okay, wait, let me just, okay, something entered my eyes just now. Yep. All right, so back to the topic. So I believe that AI, artificial intelligence, will be everywhere. By 2050, AI will feel like a tool that you use every single day. It will feel like a layer of reality. Your personal AI assistant today may manage your schedule automatically, negotiate bills and services for you, design your workouts and diet in a real time, act as your tutor, therapist, and the strategies. Businesses will run with minimal human input. Entire industries will be optimized by machines working 24/7 without fatigue. But here's the deeper shift. It will influence decisions for real. And that raises one of the biggest questions of the future. How much of your life will you still control directly in the future? Because I believe that in future, work will not look the same anymore. By 2050, many traditional jobs will completely disappear or transform completely. Routines of work will be handled by automations and all, but that doesn't necessarily mean that there's no work for us humans. It means that we have different work right now. Maybe people may focus on more to creativity, strategy, emotional intelligence, you know, human connections, innovation. The most valuable skill, they may not be memorizations or repetitions. So that is kind of, I believe that kind of value won't be useful in the future, because since we have AI right now, okay, but adaptability is the main key right now, right? Because in a world where machines can do almost anything when it comes to technical stuff and all, humans will be valued for what cannot be easily replicated, such as, for instance, imaginations. We humans, we are rich with imaginations, right? Empathy, leadership, and meaning making. The question won't be like, what job should I do, right? It will be, what problems do I want to solve, what problems do we humans need to solve right now, okay? And next predictions will be, let me think. I think all the cities around the world will become smart ecosystems. City, I am referring to city, not suburban or anywhere, okay, not a village or what. I'm talking about the main city of all the countries in the world will become smart ecosystems, right? Because by 2050, cities may no longer feel like a concrete jungles. They may feel like a living systems. Okay, I want to imagine like there's buildings that generate their own energy, roads that communicate with vehicles. That's weird, okay. Traffics that adjusts itself in the real time, waste system that recycle automatically, vertical farms inside skyscrapers, and cities will be designed not just for humans, but for efficiency, sustainability, and intelligence as well. So I believe that the design of the skyscrapers will change abruptly. I believe that it will be, right? So climate change will likely force the massive redesigns of how we basically live in our everyday life. Because as all of us know, climate change is getting worse nowadays. Do you agree? It is worse. It's getting worse, okay? So coastal cities may evolve, and some regions may, become uninhabitable, Yeah. And others will be like rebuilt with the technology as the foundations, right? And I believe that the current cities that right now we are having, it is kind of waste, alright, because we build a lot of huge skyscrapers, but can you imagine like how much cost do we need just to demolish and abolish the whole thing, just to rebuild a more ecosystem type of skyscrapers, and more environmental friendly that type? I believe that humans will abandon the current cities right now. Okay, the government will abandon and they will rebuild a entirely new system and system cities, ecosystem cities in a rural area, and from there the government gonna start to rebuild it from the scratch. It's just my instinct, yeah. So, and next predictions will be about health. All right, so health and human longevity will change a lot. So one of the most powerful transformations by 2050 will be in medicine. I believe it, because instead of treating illness after it appears, health system may focus on preventions. So wearable and implanted sensors could continuously monitor your body. Like how Yes, I'm back. Okay. So, like what we are using right now, using Apple Watch, is how we monitor our health and our heartbeat or pressure, blood pressure or whatever. So I feel like there will be something in the future that we're gonna wear. You know, especially the rich people, they gonna buy it. It's just a guts. It's just a predictions. We never know that. So AI could actually like detect diseases years before the symptoms even appears, and like personalized medicine may become the standard. Even aging itself may be slowed down. Okay, so not stop completely. I don't mean that aging being stopped completely, but potentially it will manage more effectively. That means that something profound, like people in 2050 may not be just live longer. They may still stay healthier for longer time, but this also raises a new questions. If human lives longer, how does that change careers, relationships, and the life purpose itself, right? No, it's just a predictions. Let the future handle that. Okay? And next, I feel like the internet will disappear. I feel like the internet gonna disappear, okay? As we know it. Wait, let me just... Okay, I'm back. I stopped the video because my eye feels very, very dry right now. I tried to open my eye. Okay, fine. I think my eyes too dry. Okay, enough with the bullshit. Alright, back to the prediction. Right, I feel like the internet will disappear because in 2050, the internet as we know it may not be exist, right? Because it may no longer be something you enter. Instead, it will be something that you live inside. So I feel like the augmented reality could like overlay like digital informations directly onto your vision. You might see directions floating in the air. You don't need a GPS anymore. Like information's appearing naturally in your environment, communications happening through a voice, gesture, or even through interfaces. Whatever the science fictions that you watch in all the movies that you have watched, that's how it's gonna be like. And communications happening through voice, the boundary between a physical and a digital reality may blur completely because the screen could disappear, who knows? Because everything becomes the interface. When once you step out from your house, everywhere you go, the information is everywhere. I'm not sure, but yeah, it's just a predictions. Okay, who knows, right? Yeah. Okay. So what though? In a nutshell, so what will the world look like in 2050? Okay, it will be faster for real, smarter, more connected than ever, more automated. Okay, I believe that this is gonna be happening. All right. So and more complex than it seems than anything that we know today. But here's the most important truth. Even in a world of advanced AI right now, smart cities, radical innovations and all, one thing will still matter more than anything else is actually you. Okay, so your choices and all, your adaptability, your mindsets. Because technology will, you can't deny that technology will shape the world. You can't deny it, okay? Because 2050 is not just something that will happen to us, it's something that we are actually building right now, and every decisions today becomes part of the future. Okay, so the real question is not just like what will the world look like in 2050. The real question is like, who will you become by the time 2050 arrives. Yeah, that's it. So that's all from me, and that's all the end of my predictions, and I hope that you enjoy my predictions. It's just a prophecy or assumptions or predictions. Yeah, so yeah, that's it from me, and let me know your let me know your thoughts in the comment. Okay, that how our world will look like by 2050. Right, because now is 2026. All right, yeah. So there is another 24 years more. Is it? How old am I by then? I must have been. How old am I? Around almost 50, I guess, by the time. Alright. Yeah, we never know. So that's it. And thank you so much for watching until the end. Bye bye.